Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the afternoon short broadcast from Brixton Inner Space Outreach, an organization of the World Spiritual University, Brahma Kumaris. My name is Bobby John. I'm a student of Raj Yoga Meditation. This week, I've been asked to speak about practicing the pause as life moves very fast. How can we become more response able? When I was thinking about this topic, I remembered Viktor Frankl's famous quote. Viktor Frankl, as you may know, is the famous Austrian neurologist, psychiatrist, Holocaust survivor. He is very well known for developing logotherapy, a sort of psychotherapy that is centered around the idea of primary human need is the search for meaning. So his quote goes like this: between stimulus and the response is a space. And in this space lies our freedom to choose our response. That's it. And it is in these responses that lie our growth and freedom. In some people who have had tough upbringing, the space may be small. In people who have had a stable upbringing, the space may be big. But the truth is, however, whatever may be your upbringing, the space exists. And the appropriate use of that space, the choices that you make would result in your growth and freedom. I was with a good friend of mine who is also a spiritual explorer. She was in a party and she was observing herself. And one of her friends were making a lot of comments about the people in the party and how things should be. And she observed her own irritating thoughts that she was creating and judgmental and critical thoughts about her friend. And the good news is that because she was a spiritual explorer, she was able to understand the fact that she was the one who was creating those thoughts. And after a bit, she was able to put a full stop to that thoughts. But most of the time, we have become so used justifying um, our own critical and judgmental nature. We may be simple and right, but because of our expectations that people should be a particular way, people should be behaving like this, and this is the right way, my way is the right way. Uh, you create these kind of lot of irritation or anger or thoughts, waste thoughts. And the load of these kind of futile thinking blocks our own energies of love and peace. I, the soul, in this body, am energies of peace, love, and happiness. But what has happened? We have been looking for peace, love, and happiness from people, possessions, and positions, which are all temporary and which cannot give you sustainable peace, love, and happiness. And when we are critical and judgmental, like in the example what I was speaking about, you block your own energies of love and peace. I'm not saying that you don't love the person at that moment, but at that particular moment when you are judgmental and critical, you are rejecting that person. There is no love, there's no peace. So when we realize this truth, I would request you to experiment with three Hindi words. They are Chintan, Manan, and Manthan. Chintan is thinking deeply, contemplating about the information that you have received. And when you understand that, it becomes knowledge. Manan is about internalization or reflection in silence so that you come into the feeling of this, what you have been thinking about. This can be done through meditation. You come into the feeling when you are reflecting and internalizing, deeply thinking about deeply how what you have thought about in the first stage, you come into the feeling of those thoughts. And then then the knowledge, that is when the knowledge becomes wisdom. And the third stage is manthan or churning, is a deep analysis, is testing, questioning what you have felt. And sometimes you realize some of these aspects are illusion, and sometimes you will be able to understand, or you will be able to extract the truth. You will be able to differentiate between illusion and the truth. And as they say, the truth sets you free. So, as always, I would request you to experiment with these concepts, Chintan, which is contemplation or deeply thinking, so that thinking about this idea so that you understand the information that you have received, it becomes knowledge. And Manan is internalizing and realization, internalizing and reflection, sorry, reflection so that you understand, you realize what you have been thinking about, and that knowledge becomes wisdom. And when you are able to apply this wisdom, when you are testing it and questioning it and deeply analyzing it, which is month and churning, you are able to extract the truth, and the truth would set you free. So for the next minute, let's try and experiment with the meditation. Let's come into this awareness of who we are. A peaceful, powerful, loveful, blissful point of light, point of energy. If other thoughts come, lovingly send them away, saying that you would pay attention to them after this minute. And try and come into this experience of this peaceful being, who you really are. If you want to visualize a lake or a seaside where you have felt peaceful, that's something which you can do. Try and hold that thought so that you come into the feeling of peace. Thank you. I would request you to experiment with these concepts so that you can become response able. You become, when when a situation happens, people and situations are not within your control. They are triggers, but the response to them are totally within your control when you are able to acquire these spiritual powers and get the ability to respond and not react. Happy experimenting. Thank you for listening.